So one evening we were sitting there waiting for the TV news to be over. Instead of the regular news being broadcast on TV, the national anthem played. And then we panicked. Because usually when national anthem played, it means that the head of state going to speak, or it means that somebody had taken over the government. And since the marshal didn't tell us that Doe were going to speak, and we heard the national anthem playing, we started looking at each other and said, but what's going on? What's going on? Then we saw Doe. And then we saw Abraham Colley and some other people. And the head of state sat there and say, ladies and gentlemen, I've come to announce that the People Redemption Council have been dissolved. And in the place of the People Redemption Council, we have established an interim National Assembly, and I'm president. I turned to Kumar and said, now explain that to me now. I know good English. But what's the connection? The International Assembly has been organized, and he is president of what? Of the assembly or of Liberia? What is it? Kumar said, my man, we got to think about this thing. Okay. I said, the next morning I came to work and said, Kumar, I want your permission to go to the mansion and find out whether Doe is president of the International Assembly or if he is president of Liberia. Because before the end of the day, BBC will be calling. I got to speak like an intelligent man. So I went to Willie Givings and said, Mr. Givings, the head of state dissolved the TRC, organized the Interim National Assembly, and he said, I'm president. Please go and ask him whether he is president of the assembly or he is president of Liberia. Because we want to publish the news, we don't know how to publish it. He went in and came back and said, Doe, you must say just what he said, the people will understand. I told him, I said, Mr. Givings, please go back in there and tell him that I am Assistant Minister of Information. I have been in the information business for a long time and I don't understand. How can I explain to the people? So tell him, make it clear to him. I said, did you really tell him what I said? Tell him I want to know whether he's president of Liberia or president of the International Assembly. There's a difference. President of the Assembly means you preside over the Assembly. President of Liberia means we have already elected you, and I don't see any election around here. So let him tell you. He came back in outside and he said, okay, those say you must tell the people he's president of the Assembly. I said, thank you very much. So now we knew that Doe was president of the Assembly and not president of Liberia, because by that time we had not had an election. You see, if some of us had panicked and refused to push the case, Doe could have declared himself president then, and there would be no need for election because they wanted to kill the constitution anyway. So they had the election, they had a referendum, and then they set a day for the referendum results to be announced. And then they declared that politics was open, the ban was lifted on political activities, and head of state Doe said that all those in his government who were interested in politics should resign immediately. And they started to resign. A lot of them resigned. Then the days were approaching when they had to announce the referendum result. I went back to Mr. Kroma with my memorandum outlining the protocol for announcing the results of the election, of the referendum. Pre-referendum announcement, post-referendum announcement, and the coverage for the protocol announcing the referendum. Everything lined up. We came to find out 2 days before time, we could not get Ahmed Harman, the election commissioner, to tell us anything straight about the referendum results that should have been announced 2 days later. We said that you are supposed to announce this thing 2 days later. We should have the publicity now. So why are you keeping quiet? He said, oh, don't worry, we'll get back to you. You boys, you just wait. We know what we're doing. So, okay. That went on and went on and went on. After the head of state had announced the lifting of the ban on politics, that very week, when they were supposed to announce the referendum result, Dr. Sawyer decided he was going to launch his political party at the Duke Palace Hotel, or what became the Ducal Intercontinental Hotel. When it was first dedicated, it was called the Ducal Palace Hotel. Later on, it got changed to the Ducal Intercontinental Hotel. So, I sat down and I thought about the whole thing, and I went back to Nkrumah. I said, you know what happened? These people will announce this result. Just give me a few hours. I'll put together a strategy that will make these people announce this result. So I went and sat down and thought about it. And then I said, you know what happened, Nkrumah? Call Omer Harman. And Nkrumah said, you should ask me everything I say. I said, call Omer Harman and tell him that Sawyer is launching his party tomorrow at the Ducal. And the only thing we got for the headlines for tomorrow is the launching of Sawyer's party. That will be the national headlines in the newspaper, on TV, and on the radio. And you know very well they do not want that to be the headline. So tell him if he cannot release the referendum result that he's supposed to release tomorrow, Sawyer will take the headlines. So Nkrumah called Omer Harman and told him that Omer Harman said, I'm on my way to you. Omer Harman came. But when Omer Harman came, we had already videotaped Sawyer's party activities at the Ducal. We had already videotaped it. And we plug it into the thing, and we had Omer Harman sitting there, and he saw the whole thing when Sawyer said that Doe wanted to be the referee and the player at the same time. If Doe wanted to run, he should resign like the other people and go and run. He cannot be referee and player. He said a lot of things. And I turned to him and said, Mr. Chairman, that is the headline tonight on ELBC and ELTV. Unless you can release the results of the referendum, that is our headlines. What Sawyer is saying. So what do you prefer? He said, okay, I come just now. He ran down the steps. He went for some time. We didn't hear from the Omer. I told Nkrumah, I said, look, my father had told me a lot about Liberian politics. The old man told us to hold on, he's going to come back. If he doesn't come back, and we announce anything, he will say he told us to hold on. So we have to find another way to break this thing. I said, look, give me a few minutes. I called up Isaac C. Nyemplu, who was serving on the commission. I said, I want to see you at the Ministry of Information urgently. He came. When he came, I said, you're supposed to announce this referendum result today. Tell me, why are you not doing it? We don't hear any publicity. Nyemplu said, well, I want to tell you something confidentially. I said, yeah, what is that? He said, I've been behind Omer Harman for the result. I've been behind him for a long time. He just dodging us. And he just told us that Doe put him on an oath to take the referendum result and carry to Firestone and lock it up in the manager vault in Firestone because they will not announce it. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, they will announce it. They will announce it. I said, you know what? I want you to help me so they can announce it. He said, how can I help you? I said, go to the mansion right now and ask to see Head of State Doe. When they allow you to see him, tell him that Emmanuel Harman told you that he, Doe, put Harman on an oath to lock up the result in Firestone Vault and see how he will react. So Nyemplu went there and did exactly what I told him. Doe said, is that what Omer Harman told you? Say, yeah. I didn't tell you like that. Call out Omer here. They went to get Omer Harman. Omer Harman came. As soon as they opened the door, he said, hello, Mr. Head of State. He said, did I tell you not to announce the result? Did I tell you to take it to Firestone for? I didn't tell you anything. Go let book had the result. So Harman never said a word. And the result of the referendum was liberated from Firestone Vault. True story. I asked Mr. Nyemplu. Oh, he dead now, but you can't ask him. Ask Nkrumah. Nkrumah knows the story very well. Ask the other people, Casillas Stewart and other people who are on the election commission. When that happened, shortly after that happened was the university crisis. There were students at the university who were protesting because later on Sawyer were put in jail. You remember? They were after all of this thing about the political party and this and that and the other, they found a way to put him behind bars. He and George Clay Care, I think, and some other people put him behind bars.